So I want to hear what has changed since we last spoke about 2 years ago.
I don't think the market ever changes. I think that when you look at a price chart, you think it's a reflection of, something taking place in computers, some mysterious connection of servers all over the world. That's not what it is. It's simply mapping out human behavior. And, if you and I were alive 5,000 years ago and you shot a deer and I had a bunch of chickens with eggs and I wanted some deer meat, I'd give you some eggs. And so if the eggs are currency and the deer meat is the commodity, we could plot it out. And if you took a whole bunch of people making that kind of barter, the price charts would look very similar to price charts today for any stock, for any commodity, for futures market, which is what I do most of my trading on. It's just a reflection of natural human behavior, rational human behavior. And and that's not going to change. It's genetic. It's built in our genes. And if you start to get thousands of people together behaving rationally, or at least the people with big money will make rational decisions. And you look at the charts, it's simply a reflection of natural, just normal, rational human behavior. And the computers obviously are going to be rational. Most of the trading that takes place is done by computers, at least in the United States, and they obviously are behaving logically. And so the patterns that we see right now are a reflection of computer trading for the most part, and you have to assume that it's all logical. And yes, sometimes it can result in big moves, sometimes it can result in sideways moves, but it's all a reflection of rational human behavior. It's just a mapping out of how transactions take place. And it's not going to change over time unless we become a new species. It's in our genes. It's always going to be that way. I've looked at charts from over 100 years ago, and if I take the time and price off the charts, they look the same as charts today. And I look at charts, even today, I look at charts from all kinds of markets. And if you take the time and price off the chart, you cannot tell if you're trading gold, if you're trading stocks, if you're trading bonds, you cannot tell. So I trade all markets and all time frames the same. And I think computers do that as well.
So there are people that say that every market has its specificities of some markets range more, some markets trend more. So you would be saying the opposite of that, they all look the same.
Right. There are certain characteristics, especially in the smaller markets. If you have a small market and it's traded by a small group of people, it can have some subtle differences. Also, there are other things that are inherently different. For example, if you trade bond futures versus trading the E-mini versus trading Citibank, the dollar value per tick is different. The amount of margin that you need is different. Some things are going to be more volatile than other things. If you're trading a utility stock, as a day trader, it could be very boring. It's not going to move much. If you're trading a cheap stock, a stock that's trading at $2, it's not going to move much. On a percentage basis, it'll move. But in terms of absolute number of ticks up and down, it's not going to move much. But all that aside, if you just look at the charts and get rid of price and time, and I've looked at probably more charts than anybody on the planet over the past 30 plus years, I honestly believe it's impossible to tell one chart from another.